People pleasing is often trauma wearing lipstick and a smile. Hey, I'm Dr. Lonna, Bulletproof Babes, self defense based on behavioral sciences. Some women were never taught how to say no. They were taught how to survive by making everyone else happy. The problem is that it sets you up to be victimized in so many different situations. From a neighbor taking advantage of your generosity, to an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse, to a straight up predator who tries to SA you and or murder you. People pleasing doesn't just drain your energy, it will put you in danger. But if you are a people pleaser, I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, right? Because by now you've experienced some of these scenarios. Some people are ready to step up and break out of that, and some people will never have the courage to break that pattern. One of the biggest red flags in self-defense is someone who feels guilty for having boundaries. What people pleasing is, at its core, is a survival strategy. A lot of people pleasers are not trying to be liked as much as they are trying to avoid conflict, rejection, abandonment, punishment, or humiliation. There's an underlying belief that if everyone is happy around me, I'll be safe. And this survival strategy develops in childhood where there's a history of one or more of these things. A highly critical parent, explosive households, emotional unpredictability, or religious or cultural conditioning, or getting into an abusive relationship. Whenever you picked up this trait, it's you equating harmony with safety, having boundaries for yourself with feeling guilty, and really taking on other people's emotions as your responsibility. And I can tell you, managing other people's emotional state all day is exhausting. So, this is where predators enter the picture. People who are manipulative are quick to notice people who have difficulty saying no, who are uncomfortable with confrontation, or they over apologize or over explain, or whose boundaries collapse under pressure. So here's how they'll test the waters. They'll start out by asking for small favors, or they'll create an artificial urgency, or they'll use guilt, or they'll act hurt if told no. Healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulators negotiate against them. That's a telltale sign. If you set a boundary and you start thinking, I'm selfish, I'm overreacting, maybe I hurt them, what you're really feeling is withdrawal from a lifelong conditioning pattern. Your nervous system is interpreting boundary setting as dangerous because historically it was. This can happen with either gender, but for women specifically, people pleasing is often rewarded socially, and that's the truly insidious part. You may be praised as supportive, selfless, sweet, low maintenance, all the while disappearing as a person behind the performance. And I'll warn you, recovery from people pleasing is emotionally strange. It can initially feel less like empowerment and more like grief because you start to realize how often you've abandoned yourself, how you've ignored your own intuition, how many of your relationships depend on compliance, and how much exhaustion you have normalized. How do you know if you're a people pleaser? Okay. You agree too quickly. You commit to things before thinking. You say yes to something while internally feeling dread about it. You volunteer automatically. Hey man, this was my personal issue. When I was just starting out in practice for myself 25 years ago, I belonged to a networking group that met weekly that had a lot of high-powered professionals, lots of attorneys, and I was young and insecure, and I wanted everybody to like me. So I'd say yes to every volunteer opportunity, right? Who wants to schedule all the speakers? Oh, I'll do that. Who wants to collect the dues? Oh, I'll do that. Who wants to plan the parties? Oh, I'll do that. Man, I was exhausted. Okay, so if you see yourself in this material, here's 6 ways to break free. 1, create and have a mandatory pause sentence. Like, let me think about that. I'll get back to you. I'm not sure yet. Taking a small pause breaks the automatic compliance. 2, watch for feeling guilty after exerting a boundary. Ask yourself, did I do something harmful or did I just disappoint someone? Because those are not the same thing. And personally, I've always felt that guilt is a highly overrated emotion. Let it go. 3, stop over explaining because it signals fear of disapproval, the need for another person's permission, and that you have a weak boundary confidence. Practice short boundaries. I can't make it. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available. Then stop talking. And warning, silence is uncomfortable for recovering people pleasers because we're used to managing other people's reactions. 4, pay attention to what your body's telling you. People pleasing often disconnects you from your intuition. Your body notices danger before your mind admits it. Do you have exhaustion around certain people? A tightness in your chest or stomach? What is your intuition telling you? 5, observe who punishes you for having boundaries. If you say no to someone, do they get angry? Do they try to make you feel guilty? Do they mock you? Do they get more persistent, or do they play the victim? The boundary exposes the relationship structure. Sometimes the relationship was only functioning because one person was over accommodating. One of my favorite quotes is that the only people who will object to you having boundaries are the ones who have benefited from you not having them. And 6, and lastly, practice tiny acts of healthy discomfort. Send back a dish at a restaurant if you don't like it. Let a text sit and wait for a day. Decline an invitation. This retrains your nervous system. You're teaching your brain that conflict is uncomfortable but totally survivable. A predator's greatest weapon is often not force. It's your fear of disappointing people. Hey, if you like this material, please sign up for our free weekly newsletter. You get 2 videos and a confidence building tip for the week. And if you don't like it, you can just unsubscribe with one click. I'll put the link for it in the description of this video. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.